The How to Train Your Dragon movie just looks like an animated movie.
That's
what's weird about it.
I guess that's what's kind of cool is like it'll feel super on brand because it's already like a bit like that.
Well, Toothless looks exactly the same.
Just with like RTX on.
Yeah.
Yo, what is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marques.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm David.
Whoa. All of us.
Oh.
Well, we were all
because
here.
Ellis is back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm chewing. Why'd you have to do it right now?
We're all back, and there's been a lot of stuff that's kind of all over the map, sort of unrelated stuff. So what we're going to do is exactly what you think we're going to do with a whole bunch of unrelated stuff. Headlines in a hat. We're just going to talk about that stuff because we have opinions and thoughts and hot takes about all of them.
It just, the Waveform Slack, which is where we all post things over the week, just felt like it was nonstop for like the last 7 days.
Chaos.
Just like leaks and rumors and teasers and all sorts of little small things that we will all cover today. And then we're going to end with a Valentine's themed game that Adam...
Where we all kiss.
For all you... How'd you know?
I'm also realizing...
State of the end is...
I'm also realizing it's headlines in a hat, and Andrew, you're the only one with a hat.
I am the only one with
So
a
I think
hat.
we have to use your hat.
We do, but there is one thing I want to talk about before the hat,
Okay.
which is every year around this time, we talk about things that happened at the Super Bowl because there's usually a lot of tech commercials at the Super Bowl.
True.
I found almost nothing interesting at the Super Bowl this year except for two small things that I want to bring up. And if anyone has anything else, the commercials were more boring than last year.
Yeah, I heard they were kind of bad.
Pretty meh.
It was pretty crazy that OpenAI used Sora to generate their commercial, though.
Did they really?
Kinda
No, it was
felt
made
like
by a guy
Wow.
in After Effects.
Nice.
Okay, so the two things that I noticed, the scoreboard design was atrocious.
It was atrocious?
It was awful.
It was polarizing. I saw a lot of people saying it was great.
I didn't see a single person saying it was great.
I thought it was perfectly fine.
Really?
That's where
Yeah,
I
it looks-
landed. It was definitely fine.
Yeah,
it wasn't terrible.
Wait, why was it atrocious?
It was
It was big?
it felt so like
I need to
there's a
look at it.
point of minimalism where it just feels unfinished, and that's what I thought at points I was gonna see the like PNG checkered background behind it, like they had forgotten to actually like export it correctly.
I think that looks cool.
No, it was, I mean,
No, it's not that.
so they had a very subtle dark gradient background behind it. A little dark.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's just two boxes that say KC PHI.
I love that.
I think it's
What I
so
don't
boring.
like is that the scores are inverted depending on what side you're looking at. So it's kind of confusing to know how many points Philadelphia has.
What do you mean? Like it's based
Like,
on the inside?
They
of
put
it?
the score on the right for Kansas City and on the left for Philadelphia.
If you watched the
It's
game, it
mirrored.
wasn't confusing to know how many points Philadelphia.
It was very clear.
Go Birds!
All right.
I think it's fine.
Okay, maybe I would like to hear what people think in the comments. I thought it just felt super boring because there's so many other good animations and design throughout the game. Like at the desk they sat at, they had this like these really beautiful their logos that were like had sparkles and like things going on
Oh,
behind
you wanted
it.
the logos.
I wanted anything,
Something.
something. It just felt so boring.
What if we tried to make these two teams look as similar as possible? Like, where's the fun
I
in
don't know.
that?
It just
One
felt
is red
really
and one is
boring.
green.
Oh.
Okay, my second one, one commercial that I will talk about was the Gemini ad, which was,
I
if
didn't
you
get to watch it.
remember, so it's essentially a man standing in his kitchen using Gemini to like practice for a job interview that he has coming up.
Okay.
And it asks him the question of like, what is a previous job and like how did you feel successful in that? And what he winds up describing is him being a dad and kind of like in job terms, all these ways of like he worked with a small team and he worked long hours and all this stuff. And it
found
was
product
really
market fit.
adorable. What?
He found product market fit with his
Yeah. He really learned how to raise investor capital with his daughter. But
Investor Capital is his daughter's name.
but maybe as a dad, it felt really nice to me. I thought it was well done, but I can't help but think it's the culmination of learnings from their Olympic ad, which
Yeah.
was the exact opposite of like, I have a daughter who wants to write a letter, but I don't feel like writing it with her.
Yeah.
Gemini, can you do it instead?
Yeah.
Which they then pulled
They
off
took
the
that
air.
down. Yeah. There's a lot of pushback on it.
Yeah, I think they went from going
let's do something very emotional that people will like to let's do something practical like a job interview.
But
it was more emotional.
Yeah, but the thing itself that he was using it for was a job interview.
Yeah.
That's a good
very low
point.
stakes
The actual
for something
task
like that.
was not like help me raise my kids.
Yeah.
It was more
that's a
of
very
like,
fair point.
let me do a task. Yeah.
So I thought it was really good. I thought it was probably the best ad outside of like the Nike ad. But after that, I can't think of. I think there was a Tim Robinson one later, but I had stopped watching at that
was
point.
pretty good.
I think I saw parts of it online because Tim Robinson can make anything funny. But
The Google commercial made me think of this comic that was getting like passed around Reddit and Twitter and Blue Sky and all that stuff by Tom Fishburne. It's 2 panels, and the first panel is this guy sitting in front of a computer, and he says, "AI turns this single bullet point into a long email I can pretend I wrote." And then the second panel is a different guy in a different computer, and she says, "AI makes a single bullet point out of this long email that I can pretend I read."
Yeah. Yeah.
that's pretty awesome.
And then
They should have just posted that for the Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
That would have worked pretty well.
Honesty sells. No, it doesn't. Today is also a special day. Today is Valentine's Day 2025. By the time you're listening to this, it's coming out on Friday, Valentine's Day 2025, which means that it is YouTube's 20th birthday.
It also means if you're listening to this at 5 a.m. on your commute in, audio-wise, you still have time to stop and get a card and flowers
You
for
still have
whoever
time.
you forgot about.
You're welcome. Go get that done. But I figured in honor of YouTube's 20th birthday, and I've talked about YouTube a lot on this podcast, usually pretty positively. They're very stable, long-lasting social network.
But this time,
No, so this time, they're not perfect, obviously, but I figured I would give you guys some things that are younger than YouTube. So these are all things that didn't exist when YouTube was founded. You might have already heard the story. YouTube was originally a dating website. It was founded so that you could upload videos of yourself as part of the experience, online dating. Very interesting. Anyway, things that were not around when YouTube started, Valentine's Day 2005, when it started. Vine, TikTok,
That one's pretty obvious.
Instagram,
yeah.
Reddit, Snapchat, Zoom, the iPhone, and everything that came from that, the App Store, the iPad, all that stuff, WhatsApp, Uber, Airbnb.
I think the most surprising one is the iPhone, and Reddit just feels like the internet. Or
Reddit feels like
it used to
ancient
feel like
history.
the internet. Now it feels like hot garbage. But
Yeah.
that one surprises me the most. A lot of
Reddit?
the
Yeah.
What?
You like Reddit surprises you the most?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember when it came out and I was like, this is sick.
I don't remember
No,
when it
it's not.
came out. I remember when I started using it.
Yeah.
And my friend that got me into it. But
There's a lot of social networks that started in like 2003, 2004, 2005. That was right around that boom when a lot of them first, the mega sites got made. Like Gmail came up around then, Facebook. But yeah, YouTube's still around, arguably at the peak of its powers still 20 years later. If it was a person, it'd be old enough to vote. It's pretty sick.
I need something in there that's like a staple food item, or like I need
That didn't exist
Yeah,
20
that didn't
years ago?
exist.
Bread.
Prime.
But
I don't have any food, but I have a few more to add to this list
Okay.
that I think are pretty good.
Yeah.
Spotify,
Yeah.
the Nintendo Wii,
Oh, wow.
it's older than the Wii.
and get this,
There was a YouTube app.
Blu-ray discs.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Blu-ray discs were not around,
They came out the year after
Wow.
YouTube.
Yeah.
and they've already gone to the wasteland.
Oh, I have another one. Windows Vista.
Yeah, because I remember I had
Older than
XP and I was
Vista.
doing tutorials on how to make your XP computer look like it ran Windows Vista without actually running Windows
Nice.
Vista. Because Vista was bad.
Yeah, this was.
Yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
The news feed on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. I forgot they didn't have that at
OG
first.
Facebook was a wild place.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Walls were arguably the most confusing. If you pitched how old Facebook worked now, you'd get nowhere because it made no sense at all.
Yeah.
That's YouTube's 20th birthday. It is one of the headlines currently in my hat, so we'll skip that one when it comes out.
Oh, sure. Perfect.
But who would like to pick the first headline?
Where are the headlines?
They're in my hat.
How do I get them out?
You're currently
I'll
wearing
take
the
that
hat.
off.
Nice.
It's not
Slink my
glued
finger
to my
in
head
there.
like Joe Dirt.
I'll take it.
Wow.
Joe
All the
Dirt with the
headlines.
Joe Dirt bass.
Wait, what? Who's Joe Dirt?
Joe Dart.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get that reference.
Who is Joe?
He has a hat.
I will do it
glued to
very
his
quickly.
head?
Joe Dirt's this crappy movie with David Spade where when he's a kid, he has like a head injury and they put this mullet wig on him and it like fuses to his head. So for the rest of his life, he has a mullet because it's fused to his head.
That is a bad movie plot.
That's not the whole plot. It's pretty much the plot, actually. Just kidding.
So Andrew, unfortunately, I'm not YouTube.
I already
on
put the hat
TVs.
back.
Perfect.
No, that's right. No, that's a different one.
Oh,
That's
Okay,
a different one.
cool.
okay.
So the CEO of YouTube put out this sort of annual, I guess it's annual, a letter to creators where they talk about what they're doing, what they're hopefully focusing on going forward. And we couldn't help but notice that there was a solid focus on YouTube on TV, how YouTube is growing on TVs, how it's actually surpassed mobile. So there's more YouTube viewership on TVs than on smartphones, which is pretty crazy. But then I went and looked it up. And, you know, this is obviously dependent on the audience and like where people are watching, what type of stuff they're watching. To me, someone who does not watch any YouTube on TVs, I thought this was fascinating. I always hear about the living room experience, YouTube taking over the living room. And this is very interesting to me. So I went and looked up the MKBHD channel demographics. 45% mobile phone, 27.5% computer, 18.5% TV, 8% tablet. So almost 20% of you watch MKBHD videos, not the podcast, but MKBHD.
It's almost
main channel
exactly
videos.
the same. It's
Okay.
21% for the podcast.
Okay, so about a fifth of you watch this on TVs.
Oh,
I think that was about what I thought, maybe a little higher than what I expected. But then I went and polled on Twitter, just curiously, and asked, do you actually watch YouTube on TV? And the three options I gave were all the time, sometimes, or rarely/never. And it was almost an even split. It was almost an even split between, yeah, all the time. What are you talking about? I love watching YouTube on TV. A lot of people's replies were, yeah, I almost always watch YouTube on a TV. And then a lot of other replies were, including me, I can't remember the last time I put a YouTube video on a TV.
Can I make an analogy with a hard enough cut so where Adam might be able to edit this part out?
Yes.
You discovering that people watch YouTube on TV this often is like, have you ever seen when two people talk about going to the bathroom and they're like, you stand up to wipe, you sit down to wipe, and both people are amazed that the other option exists?
Stand up to wipe? No way.
That is like,
Are you kidding me?
Welcome to the Waveform Poopcast.
That is so disgusting. That is so gross. Who
They're
does
always,
that?
or like, do you wash your legs? People, like, it's always
Wash
shocked.
your legs?
Yeah, like, people are shocked. Yeah, see, people are like, do you wash your legs? And half people are like, wait, no, of
The
course not.
water runs down my
Exactly.
body.
That's half the people. And the other half of people are like, no, obviously you wash your legs. So there's two halves.
you realizing that people watch on their TV often, to me, and I saw Ellis's face before when you mentioned this, like,
Zero?
I watch so much of my YouTube on TV. I would argue outside of work or when I like just happen to try and listen to YouTube videos as like a podcast in my car, I'd say 90% of the YouTube I watch is on TV.
So you get home, it's the living room TV, you pop up on the couch and you grab that remote and you start typing with that arrow key.
I mean, do you every time you go and watch a YouTube video, do you type in the search bar?
Actually,
what
that's
you
fair.
watch?
It could just be
so
home-
like
so
so
homepage.
much of his homepage, subscription page, recommended afterwards. When you do have to do that, it is a pain. I think there's a lot of UI changes that could be way better. I usually don't type. You can talk on your remote. And it does a pretty good job voice recognition, but I saw this great video the other day that I feel like kind of talks to this, where it's like, finally got home so I can turn on the big screen while I scroll my little screen as reward for looking at the medium screen all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do it all the time. That way I can look at my phone and do stuff. I can have stuff up on the background, or just like, I have a nice TV. I know you have a nice TV.
Yeah.
I want to watch it.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I have a lot of home iPad YouTube use. Actually, honestly, my iPad is 50% a YouTube machine.
Wow.
Wait, real quick, how often do you watch YouTube on your
So
TV?
I have a projector. I don't have a TV.
Let's count that as a TV.
Sure.
Ellis.
Close enough.
Okay.
Same
You have
same
a
app.
projector running Android TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll show up
Yeah.
in analytics as a TV.
Yeah. I watch almost exclusively YouTube on it. So
Really?
and I watch probably more YouTube on that than I do on my phone.
Aren't you
phone?
also a 2x person?
Yes.
So you're
I guess I don't.
sitting back.
I guess I watch on my computer a lot too. I will say my phone YouTube usage is not that high unless I'm like on the subway or something or on an airplane.
Yeah, same.
What about you two?
But
I'm the same as David. I pretty much exclusively watch YouTube on my TV. So much so, and this is a little embarrassing, but I have been known to watch shorts on my
Oh,
TV.
no.
It's
little embarrassing.
it's not.
There's
it's
a
not something-
shorts carousel
I'm not
on
saying. I'm not saying I'm
Unfortunately.
just sitting there. But you know,
what are you doing?
If
You
I
have to.
If
It's
I,
just
if
one
I
short
go on,
playing over and
if I go on the homepage, and a short thumbnail catches my eye,
Oh boy.
sometimes I'll click it.
Is there a shorts carousel in
Absolutely.
the YouTube TV app?
Yeah.
You can get to
Yeah.
it. It's harder to get
You
to,
sit
I think.
there,
Yeah.
And you feel like you're one of the guys in Wall-E. You just point the remote at the TV and down arrow, down arrow, down arrow.
Yeah,
That is a lot. Okay.
Adam?
it's an experience.
I was looking through my YouTube just now to see if it gave me this information, which it does not, and I wish it did. But I feel like I rarely watch YouTube on my phone anymore. It's mostly on TV or computer. Those are the two that I'm split between.
Yeah.
I would say I think our audience is skewed. I'm sure a lot of our audience watches on phones versus TV because we're like such a phone focused channel.
Yes.
I also am surprised. One thing I don't watch on TV is podcasts. I'm surprised we
I would think
have.
that would be the thing you watch the most on.
Really? No.
How
I
many
love,
feet is your TV from your sink?
I was
It's nowhere
from the
close
sink.
to
I was just going to ask everyone who watches,
Rockefeller over here.
I was going to ask everyone who watches YouTube on the TV or projector, how far away are you sitting from the screen?
10 feet.
Pretty close.
I have a pretty solid. I have a solid living room, so
It's like across the room.
liquid.
It's across
I just
the
feel
room.
like if it's a big, nice TV, I guess I'm the only one. When I'm watching on my iPad, that's the big, nice screen in front of me. And it's close enough to me that I can see and appreciate little details. I'm watching reviews. I'm watching like car videos, tutorials, random how-to, that like home gym build I sent you guys the other day. It's like,
Shout out that channel because he was listening to Waveform on his TV in the video.
I watched a home gym video. We'll link in the show notes, and if you look in the background long enough, you'll see a clip of the Waveform podcast. So that was sick. But that's like me going watch in 4K and like full screen, and like that's me enjoying a high res video.
Why not do that on a TV?
Because the TV is too far away.
What is your what?
Okay.
for me to experience? Like by the time it's 10, 15 feet away, it's small again.
Sounds like you need a bigger TV or a smaller living room.
Describing
Yeah.
optics.
So the iPad,
to something it is.
I got the food in front of me, and then I'm the iPad kid. It's like right there. It's a
Wait,
huge
even when
screen.
you're eating and watching YouTube on the TV is like
Better.
my food will go cold sometimes, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm watching. But
Wow.
Well, that's the
it's
thing.
bad. But
I would
that's the
bet
best way to
you
do it.
That because like longer form content is like much more popular now than it used to be and is kind of the meta on YouTube, that probably correlates with TV usage going higher. Because most of the content that I watch on my TV is like 25-minute videos about city development and stuff.
I think that's the sweet spot for TV, because I think there's like hour-long podcasts that people throw on in their car and like mostly listen to it, and I think
Yeah.
there's short videos that people scroll vertically on their phone. But I think for like the
25-minute
20-minute mealtime
videos.
video,
Yes.
like the mealtime subreddit, meal videos,
mealtime videos.
mealtime videos.
What? Wait,
25
Can
minute
you guys
videos?
send that to me later? I
Yeah.
need that.
It's literally just like, I'm about to sit down and eat. Let me watch a video that's about the length of it.
I put that on my
of
TV
a meal. Yeah,
every time.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I agree with you on the longer form stuff. I think I've gotten like really into. I watched like video game things, whether it was like the making of the Lego Island game a long time ago. There's a documentary on YouTube
No
about
way,
that.
really?
It's really good. And there's another one about
I love that game.
Simpsons hit and run speed run records, which was really awesome. That's the kind of stuff, and that means I can scroll on my phone at other times.
You're
as
also
well.
on your phone.
Yeah.
While on
Also,
TV.
right now it means I can like. If Lane's off to the side playing with something else, I'm not like right in on my phone.
You can play Pokemon TCG while you're
Like an
watching
open
your
pack.
documentary.
I learned a lot today. And
Oh wait, I want to
starting
issue a
fall.
challenge before this.
Okay.
Do back
Up until next podcast, if you are in your living room and no one else is using the TV, you have to watch any YouTube you want to watch on the TV.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay.
Just
I don't-
like experience.
Just experience. it.
Yeah, I'll play with the app. Look, honestly, anytime I use that app, which is few and far between, it's not very good. Like, in order to change resolution, which I habitually do every time I watch a video to max it out, it's a bunch of clicks
yeah.
versus mobile experience.
In their defense, it's also a bunch of clicks on mobile. You have to like click the little gear, additional settings.
True.
20,
Yeah, but it's all
like,
right there
high
in front of me. I'm just poking it versus
Yeah.
like going on the remote. Anyway, I'll do it.
Do it. I
I'll
want to
do
hear next week what you think about it.
I don't spend a lot of time in the living room, but if I do find myself there and I was gonna watch it on the iPad, I will watch it on the TV.
I feel like watching YouTube on mobile is such like an active experience versus
'Cause you're holding it.
Because you're holding it, or like it's right in front of you. Like you can't do anything else. Versus, I feel like when I watch a lot of YouTube, I'm kind of like relaxing. So I'm lounging, I'm kicking back on the couch, and that's when I put on YouTube on the TV.
Yeah, I heard somebody describe it recently as sit back versus sit forward viewing. Like lean
like
back.
the meme.
Oh, I'm laying all the way down with a blanket on.
Yeah.
I am a on the couch blanket kind of guy.
I think the TV watching is mostly laying back, and I think that's also what the iPad is for me. But I think the lean forward computer, TV, or computer or smartphone experience is different. And that's all I really have locked down.
You know what's interesting
I
about
just want you to
this?
relax, man.
I feel like a couple years ago, I remember listening to someone at, I think, Reed Hastings at Netflix, someone like that, say like their main competitor is YouTube.
Yeah.
And I remember like hearing that and be like, okay, like what are you talking about? But I kind of
Because it's an
see it
attention
now.
economy.
Neil
Yeah,
says in
but-
here for the last 2 years, they're the most watched streaming service.
Yeah,
on-
That's crazy.
on
Yeah.
TVs. Yeah.
That's the thing. YouTube, and we'll end on this. YouTube is so massive. They are both the number one watch streaming service and the number one podcast player.
Which is why Netflix is exploring adding podcasts.
It's true.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to compete with YouTube podcasts?
They're going to try.
They don't have an explore engine quite like YouTube yet.
No, but I bet you they're going to try to do what Spotify did, getting like Joe Rogan exclusively. They'll probably try to get a video podcast exclusively.
But I'm not going to like sit down for a commute and open the Netflix app for podcasts.
People do it for the games. People play the Netflix games. They actually.
I know they do, but I
I know.
refuse to believe
I
it.
agree with you. Apparently, the YouTube games are also popular.
I do see them when I scroll. I've scrolled past them every single time. I've
Yeah.
never clicked on it,
Because
but
they're
I see
horrible.
them.
They're pretty good. You should play them.
God.
All
I don't
right,
want
next
to.
headline.
Okay.
Also, sorry I keep putting the hat back on, but I have some pretty brutal hat hair, and it needs to go back on.
It's
for
headlines
my
in a
own-
hat. We gotta pick another headline. Next headline:
Uh-oh.
the Pixel 9a is leaked a little bit. Now, usually Pixels don't leak,
A
so
little bit.
so this is kind of
New
rare.
experience.
Yeah, this never happens. No, there's a couple colors. The Pixel 9a. I guess we are expecting to see this come out around Google I/O, which is May. Didn't they just say the
This
date?
rumor says March,
Oh, because the 8
and they
series-
just announced the Google I/O date as
Yeah.
May 20th, right?
May 20.
Oh, so maybe before I/O. Cool. Well, yeah, in that case, we see the rumors. It looks like it's mostly flat. I don't know if you guys remember the Essential phone, but it's giving me Essential
Oh,
phone
yeah.
vibes.
Yeah. It was a little more
Good vibes to have in terms of look. Essential
Aesthetically.
phone was not
huge
fantastic.
battery.
Thanks for
apparently.
clarifying.
A huge
In terms
battery on
of
the
look.
9A.
It says the rumor is a 5,100 milliamp hour battery. On
Yeah,
it.
do you want me to just run through all the rumors I gathered
Yeah,
up really
yeah,
quick?
sure.
Okay. Again, rumored by multiple different places, so the potential for anything here to change is very high. But yeah, 4 colors, which are black, white, pink, purple. Essentially 0 camera bump. There is a little tiny camera bump, but it is essentially flat.
Sure.
2 cameras. What I have, the side rails are flat and it matches colors.
Yeah.
Sorry, you guys are.
I just showed Ellis the picture of the purple one, and he's freaking out.
It looks very similar to the iPhone Mini that
It
Ellis
does.
has. Okay, spec rumors: 48 megapixel main camera, 13 megapixel ultra wide, 13 megapixel selfie camera, 5100 milliamp hour battery, potentially $499 for the 120 gig model, $599 for the 256 gig model, 6.3 inch screen, 120 hertz refresh rate, Tensor G4, 8 gigs of RAM.
So they did the thing that everyone's been asking for. They just made the phone thicker
Yep.
put a bigger battery in, and now there's no camera bump.
Yeah.
Ta-da! It's what we've been asking for.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But that seems like, an easy way to be a crowd favorite. $499, 120 hertz. Still not tiny, 6.3 inch screen, but people want big phones. So
Big battery.
yeah, I'm not mad.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
I think it looks good.
So are we in the position again where it's like, why would you buy the Pixel 9? Just like we were last year when it was, why would you buy the Pixel 8 when the 8A is
Well,
Yeah, it's
how
the
much
same
can you
chip.
buy a Pixel 9 for right now? I guess
That's a
question.
valid point.
probably the same price?
The difference would be maybe some camera stuff. They both have the Tensor G4, right? They're going to have different cameras. They're both going to be 120 hertz. They're going to be similar screen sizes.
Pixel 9 128 right now is $649 on the Google Store.
But there's a President's Day sale going on as well.
The Pixel 9 battery is also only 4,700 milliamp hours, while the Pixel rumored 9A is 5,100. So this is probably going to be a pretty sick battery if it does end up being this. And correct me if I'm wrong, Pixel 9 triple cameras or
Double.
only dual? Okay, so they're both dual cameras and an ultra wide. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Okay. It's $640. The Pixel 9 is currently $649 on Amazon. It's $150 off.
I have a hot take.
So
If
what?
this Pixel 9A ends up being even halfway decent, is this phone of the year?
It's definitely made a choice that qualifies it for phone of the year, which is like that thing we've all been asking for, just make a thicker phone.
Yeah, like what
get
if
rid
it
of the camera
lasts like
bumps.
3 days?
But it's February.
Could be awesome. It is early, but it's never too early to start.
Yeah,
It's like in the first
S24
three
Ultra
games,
one, right?
First 3 games of the NBA season, we've got like an MVP ladder of like who's the MVP this season. It's been 3 games. We have no idea. But I think in our way too soon power rankings of phone of the year, technically OnePlus 13 came out last year.
Yeah.
So it doesn't qualify, but it kind of set the tone.
But this would be like Luka's got a chance of winning MVP because he might score. I don't even know how much is a lot of 70
True, it's a
points.
rumor,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
It doesn't
like
exist
these
yet.
are rumors. It doesn't even exist.
But he's
yet.
saying if it does come out like
Okay,
this,
okay.
it would be it would qualify.
Luca also wasn't the affordable option. So
Wow, they got a hell of a deal, so I guess it kind of was.
I guess
They had a good trade-in deal for Luka.
Yeah, good trade-in deal, exactly. That's fair. All right,
Cool.
I
All
like
right.
it. Next headline.
Pick your own
That's the
headline.
20th birthday one, so I'll throw that out. Rivian teasers.
I remember my 20th birthday.
Rivian teasers.
Yes.
Okay.
So Rivian tweeted out yesterday, I believe.
So this is also kind of rumors.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't
just a tweet that says February 19th, sign up for updates, and 4 photos. The 4 photos are sand with tire marks in it,
know. Okay.
a sand dune with what feels like spikes coming out of it,
Okay.
a black and white photo of essentially like the bottom of a Rivian driving through the sand. And then the last one is a view through a gear tunnel to see sand dunes.
This is either one of 2 things. One, it's either a crazy unannounced new vehicle like an R2T,
Yes.
or
That's what I hope it is.
Or it's an extremely underwhelming, like random, like desert drive event that you can attend.
Oh, I was going to say, sorry.
Don't they have a soft sand drive mode on the R1T?
Yeah.
So what if they're just releasing like a hard sand drive mode?
That would be even more underwhelming.
Yeah.
Here's my underwhelming guess, which is some addition to the Rivian Adventure Network or Rivian Waypoint charging system that's in a national park that has to do with sand
like
dunes.
Death
So maybe
Valley or
like
something.
Great Sand Dunes National Park. Because they have one in Yosemite already. They had a cool announcement for it. They hyped it up a lot that like Rivian's whole vibe is kind of like being able to adventure more. They wanted to add more to national parks because those are harder places to get an EV to because of lack of charging stations. So I wonder if this is going to be an addition to a national park that has sand dunes.
Yeah, I'm trying to read, just like how we like look at Apple event invites and like read way too far into it. This is 4 images, so I'm going to overanalyze to the max the 4 images, right? First of all, if you click the link and it says sign up for updates, if you click the link, it says sign up for updates on upcoming product launches, special events, and what's next for Rivian. So this is either a product launch, a special event, or what's next for Rivian, right?
Okay.
The 4th photo is a gear tunnel. So this will in some way involve a pickup truck. Not the R2, not the R3. It has to be either R1T or some other pickup truck, right? all 4 photos have sand in them.
Mm-hmm.
So the theme here is clearly the desert and the sand and something with this environment. And I think that's as far as you can go, which means it's either 1, a special event where you can drive them on sand, or 2, a new product that specifically involves driving on sand, which seems unlikely. So I'm going to go with special event.
I have another theory.
Uh-huh.
The only photo in which they actually show any of the body of the car is in black and white. So what if it's just a special color, like a sand color?
The other question was, is this just them re-announcing the quad motor Rivian, like the R1T quad, which
As
is
like
the only one that you can get with the blue colored brakes, I believe. They have the like yellow accent on the launch edition and the blue accent on the quad. So maybe it's black and white to hide the blue.
But the brakes aren't shown in the photo.
That's true.
Just the body.
Can I give you why I think it's a charging network
A charging it, yeah.
based on the photos? Photo 1, tire marks in the sand,
Yep.
being able to drive towards the sand, which could be a Great Sand Dunes National Park.
Checks out. Okay.
Gear tunnel, looking at this. I mean, most of this has to do with like, look, there are the sand dunes. You can go to this place. It's generally outside of it. The photo with the spikes popping
That's
up
the
and the
most
shadows,
confusing one.
those are charging stations rising from the sands.
There's no scale to this photo. Like,
There
what are
is
we
no
looking
scale
at?
to this photo. Those are charging stations rising from the sands to introduce the new
In
charging
the
network
sand?
place.
That sounds.
Well, I mean, we're being a little abstract here.
Oh, okay.
I thought this was just them announcing that the next Dune movie will have a Rivian in it.
It's
All I'm saying is that they don't have a sand-colored Rivian currently. So I bet you
fair.
they're probably going to announce a sand-colored Rivian.
Probably just
a
the same,
khaki Rivian would be pretty sweet. I'd be into that.
Yeah.
I want it to be R2D. I want it to be the Maverick
It won't be.
Rivian.
We should place bets, but there's just no way.
Sand color.
I'm going with either special event or sand mode.
Sand mode?
Yeah.
Like the hard sand mode?
Sand mode.
Yeah.
This is too much of an announcement for sand mode, I think.
No,
Is
they
it-
would do
but
that.
is it too much
There's
of an
only like
announcement for
4
sand
modes.
color?
Yeah.
I think that's more visually pleasing than sand mode.
I think the tire tracks imply it's more than a color. So it's something to do with driving in the sand. It's either the quad or a driving in the sand event or or sand mode. That's all I got.
So you're saying sand mode. David, you're saying sand color.
Yeah.
Andrew, what are you saying?
Rivian, what is it called? Rivian Adventure Network. Or they're not all, because technically the one in Yosemite isn't Rivian Adventure Network. It's just a Rivian Waypoint, but charging system inside of some popular,
Charger.
like sand-based national park.
I actually could see it being quad because quad on the buy page is the only one that's coming 2025.
Yeah, quad's not.
It could
technically
very well
released
be
yet.
quad motor.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're just saying you need the quad motor to drive through sand for some
Yeah,
reason.
maybe the quad motor launches with sand mode. Maybe that's what it is. And you can experience the drive in this national park where we're also launching a new charger. Boom, we all got it right.
You're right. You know what? It's probably that. It's probably. I don't think they're launching the charger, but we'll see.
We'll see. Well, we should take a quick break. We got way more headlines in Andrew's hat, believe it or not. But before we get there, trivia time.
Wow.
It's been a while.
I haven't spoken in 3 weeks since
That is
last
the audio equivalent of knocking the rust off.
I'm back, everybody.
Ellis has severance, but for waveform.
Missed me. Before we get into trivia, we wanted to give a quick shout out this week to our friends at Retrospect because someone put in the Slack yesterday that Urban Outfitters is selling iPods, real iPods, and we were like, "What the heck?" And then it turns out they were refurbished by Retrospect.
It's like first gen iPod Nano iPod Shuffle and iPod Nano, I think.
No, it was the Mini.
Mini.
Yeah,
Are they?
Okay.
They're not new, right? They're like refurbished.
they're refurbished. Yeah, they might. They probably. I don't want to say anything without knowing, but I would imagine they have a new battery and potentially a new hard drive. I don't know. I haven't looked it up. Another.
What I looked in there is Retrospect sells like 100 things on Urban Outfitters.
Oh,
Like almost their whole inventory on Urban Outfitters.
Or like
Go.
retro outfitters, am I right?
go Retrospect. Anyway,
It comes with a 30-pin cable and the OG
Oh yeah.
earpods.
There's a
what?
Yeah.
There's
it's
a crap load of retrospect stuff on here.
They rule.
That was awesome.
Cool.
All right. Trivia. I missed a few weeks. I was on vacation, but I wanted to come back with a classic Ellis banger question. So tell me, guys, which of the following companies is not real? And instead of giving you a description of what they do, I'm just going to read you the company's Twitter bio.
Okay.
These are all tech companies. A, Skio. Sell subscriptions without ripping your hair out. B, Fruit, F-R-O-O-T. Swift conversion, automate legacy migration, ship faster. C, Keek, K-E-A-K, Keek. We are automating conversion rate optimization. Or D, Coho, giving Canadians the tools and knowledge to make their money grow. I made up one of those.
Canadians.
Made up one of those.
Skio, Fruit, Keek, or Coho?
Kiki.
Just watch it on Hibley.
Yeah.
What about doo-doo? Woo-foo.
You watch Doodoo standing up?
No, I watched it on PP.
Okay. I think that's our cue to take a break. Answers will be at the end like usual. We'll be right back. Support for Waveform comes from Coda. So imagine this. You're starting a new project at work and your vision is clear. Not only do you know exactly who's doing what, but you also know exactly where to find the data you need to do your part. In fact, you don't have to waste time searching for anything, and neither do your coworkers, because everything your team needs, from project trackers and OKRs to documents and spreadsheets, all lives in one tab, all in Coda. So with Coda's collaborative all-in-one workspace, you get the flexibility of docs, the structure of spreadsheets, the power of applications, and the intelligence of AI in one easy-to-organize tab. That means one organized workflow without the daily scramble to figure out who's doing what or where that important piece of data is hidden. Coda connects tools and teams so that you spend less time switching gears. More than 50,000 teams trust Coda to keep them more aligned and focused. So to try it for yourself, go to coda.io/wave today and get started for free. That's coda.io/wave to get started for free. coda.io/wave. Support for Waveform comes from Hostinger. Making your presence felt on the internet can be a challenge. Sure, you can try to make all the viral TikTok videos you want, but if you want to have a place where people can interact with you and be able to check out your product directly, you need a sort of home base. And not just one of those cookie cutter ones that you've all gotten used to. This is your brand, your aesthetic, and your footprint on the internet. So that's why you might want to check out what you can make with Hostinger. Whether you're looking to create a website or an online store, you can do it using Hostinger AI Website Builder. Just describe your site, name it, and get a personalized site in seconds. And we're not just talking about design. Like, you'll have the ability to generate content that matches your style and tone and tailor it to the length and topic that you choose. And you'll be able to launch your business with a free domain and professional email included with your plan for the price of a cup of coffee. Plus, Hostinger provides you with intuitive tools that anyone can use and 24/7 support if you get stuck. Take your big idea online today with Hostinger. Head to hostinger.com/waveform and start your website today. Use code waveform for an extra 10% off. All right, welcome back to Headlines in a Hat. We've got more headlines in Andrew's hat. They could say anything. They're from the past week. David, fire away.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Powerbeats Pro 2.
I keep forgetting to write the actual headline. I just write what we're going to talk about. So
Yeah.
maybe I should fix that next time. But
Apple announces Powerbeats Pro 2.
Powerbeats Pro 2. My new favorite headphones.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that.
oh
Yeah.
wait, do we have them?
I do.
want Ellis to listen.
Should I
to
go
them.
get them?
Yeah.
I threw
show
out
on
the
camera. You threw them away?
No, I threw out the.
They're my favorite headphones ever. I tossed
tips.
them.
No. I mean, so we reviewed them. They are the sequel to the Powerbeats Pro that came out 5 years ago. I reviewed those 5 years ago very positively. They're, in a lot of ways, to me, better than AirPods Pro. They stayed in my ears better. They had better battery life. They're more durable. Fast forward to 5 years later, and for $250, which they came out at, you're not trying to buy like a lightning charge, like non-wireless charging, old set of earbuds. So they came out with the sequel, and they're basically better in every imaginable way. They are the same exact launch price, but they added noise cancellation and transparency mode and adaptive EQ and spatial audio and the H2 chip. They are still IPX4 certified. The case is smaller, the battery life is longer and charges more and has USB Type-C and has wireless charging and has better colors and the buds are lighter and more comfortable and they sound better. They did everything.
Did you already mention heart rate tracking?
And they have heart rate tracking, which is actually kind of the least important thing. But it's cool. It's convenient. If you don't have an Apple Watch, then it's like if you work out that much that you're buying $250 earbuds to work out in, I strongly suspect you already have a heart rate tracking solution.
Totally.
But if you happen to not have one, okay, then yeah, you can do that too.
Can I play I think they're great. I do really like them. If I can play super quick devil's advocate,
Yeah.
all of those things are like the bare minimum of what a good pair of truly wireless earbuds needs right now. Like it's
true.
adding all this stuff because 5 years ago it was like on the verge of if everything needed those, but like at this point, any pair of truly wireless earbuds that are over $100 should have active noise canceling and transparency mode and like half of the
At this
things
point,
you just mentioned.
Totally true. I think qualitatively, after you get like past the spec sheet, it's like these have really good noise cancellation. They're a smidge below AirPods Pro, but like overall they sound really good. The sound character is fun. Like when I work out, I'm listening to I'm bumping like good like hip hop and beats and things like that, and I don't mind the extra flavor in the sound, and the bass is strong and they're loud. I love that. They're very comfortable too, so they stay in my ears, which is already pretty impressive to me, and then they stay sealed in my ears, which is another thing. So like AirPods Pro will stay in my ears, but the seal will like slowly weaken over time because of the rubber tips. These with the hooks, they just stay in my ears. They stay sealed. They sound great. The battery lasts like almost a month, arguably, with 2-hour workouts every single day. It's awesome. So qualitatively on top of the specs, they're just fun. They're great. I like them. So
The color is awesome. I think they're super comfortable.
Electric orange is one of the colors. There's also a purple color, black and white, also options if you're a little more low key.
Hyper purple is the color. Nice.
I'm saying this as someone who my current favorite earbuds are the Beats Fit Pro because I don't like the whole hook, but I do like the wingtips of it.
Yeah, I like those too.
I love about these, which is my least favorite thing in truly wireless earbuds, are I want it to be physical, some sort of a physical button, not touch control stuff, because anytime you adjust in your ears, I hate that. So Beats Fit Pro is a physical button. These have an up and down switch on both sides and physically like you have to actually press in the button where the Beats logo, a clicking button. Yeah.
So you have the volume up and at the top, and then if you tap the Beats logo, that's your play pause. If you hold it, that's your switch to transparency or noise cancellation, and it's an actual click that you can feel. It's in my backpack. That's why.
I also like that you don't have to, because what I don't like about the ones you like, Andrew, the Beats Pro,
Beats Fit Pro,
is that one, the wingtips eventually start hurting my ears, but maybe that's just my ears.
I think that's a personal thing.
Yeah. But the other thing is that the physical button, you have to push it into your ear, which usually also hurts my ears. Yeah. So I like that these have buttons on the side of them so that you kind of like click them.
There still is one you can see right here where it's almost the same button as the Beats Fit Pro, but it still has the 2 volume buttons on it. I do think though the hook for if the wingtip hurts inside your ear, I think the hook will be
it's more comfortable.
It's more comfortable and feels like it's gonna stay there.
Okay,
for sure.
I have a question about the using of these headphones. So one of the issues I have with my AirPods Pro is that sometimes I'll throw the AirPods back in the case and it just won't charge, and I won't know that until the next time I pick them up. Like occasionally one of them will just like be loose or something. And then one earbud will be charged up to 100%. The other one's like 29% or whatever. I've had that experience also with earbuds like this that have the hook, because it's more things that could potentially get caught on like the case and like not properly hit the magnets correctly, or like whatever uses the charge. The contacts.
Yeah.
Did you have any of that when you were using this? Like, is it kind of annoying to put it back in?
No. So the case, I think, improved a lot of things. The magnets are strong. When I put them back in, it was like pretty obvious when they would lock into place. And then I think if you didn't quite get them right and tried to close the case, it wouldn't close. So then I correct them and then close it and it would close. You'd know they're charging. And And that was the other thing is like they had this feature where if you put let's say they die and you put them in the case for like 5 minutes, that gets you 90 minutes of listening time, which sounds really convenient. But also, in what world are you just letting the earbuds die, like outside of the case? Like you take them out of your ears and just like put them down.
Well,
and
that's
walk
what
away.
I mean. That's what happens to me because I think it's back in the case, but the case didn't close correctly or something, and that's what ends up happening.
No, if you put them in the case, I had no issues. They seem to charge every single time perfectly. And then I kept forgetting to test battery life because I would habitually get done with them and put them back in the case and be like, oh, dang it, they're 100% again. Like I forgot because they just charge to 100% every time. So yeah, the battery was just like something I didn't have to think about at all.
How are the ANC and transparency modes?
So I would say if AirPods Pro 2 is the gold standard, 10 out of 10 for transparency mode, these were an 8.5.
Okay.
Pretty great transparency mode.
But they have the H2 chip.
They do, and I think that's a little bit to do with like a physically different driver and maybe different microphone arrangements. Like it's not exactly the same as AirPods.
That was my follow-up question is,
Yeah.
how are they different? Because they look so similar.
I mean, shape-wise, they are different. They don't have a stem, so the microphones are in different places. So they are processing it with the same chip, but maybe with not exactly the same results.
Real quick, I'm not going to listen to these
Okay.
on the podcast. And the reason is remember a few months ago, I put out a video about speakers, and kind of like the big gist of the video is like the driver is really important in a speaker, but so much of how a headphone sounds or how any speaker sounds is about the cabinet, right? Like the box the speaker's in that resonates all these low frequencies, spits out frequencies, does all sorts of stuff. When you put an in-ear earbud with a gel tip in your ear, people talk about the seal being really important, right? That seal we can call acoustic coupling. And that means now you have like this chamber that energy doesn't leak out of. Your ear canal and the earbud itself have effectively formed this
Closed area.
boom.
Yeah.
That functions a lot like a speaker cabinet. But everyone's head is a different shape. And the inside of everyone's head is an even more different shape.
I hear that the ear is as unique as your fingerprint.
Exactly. So think about all the weird length differences and angle differences and all the different ways someone's ear canal could be shaped. That has a ginormous impact on the way earbuds are going to sound. So two people could wear the exact same earbuds, and one person could say, the bass in these is insane. And the other person could say, these literally have no bass. And they would both be right.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Is it so? That makes intuitive sense. Would it also make intuitive sense that once they're calibrated to their own ear, that the differences in either direction will stay the same? So if one person thinks the Beats have no bass and one person thinks they have a ton of bass, and then I give them both the Shocks earphones, which have more bass, will they both hear more bass?
I think, and I don't know, this is like sort of a pretty intense question, but I'm inclined to answer with it. There's too many asterisks for there to be one answer to that question, right? Like what frequencies are the dominant frequencies of the material you're listening to? What key is this song in? So therefore, what is the lowest fundamental note you will hear? Because it's not about, you can describe it as more bass, less bass, but it is also as like your ear canals have a bend that make them resonate more at 50 hertz, whereas mine resonate more at 65 hertz. And depending on what key the song is in, we could perceive more or less bass.
Yeah, because there are reviews of certain headphones that definitely are very bass heavy, where universally everyone's like, oh yeah, these have a ton of bass, and I like them because of that. Like I have songs that I listen to where there's a ton of sub bass, and I listen to on these headphones and it sounds great, and you read the reviews and everyone's like, yeah, these are really bassy.
Yeah.
So there's some sort of directional agreement, even though everyone's probably sounds slightly different per person.
Yeah.
So I listen to these Beats and I think these sound really good. I don't say that about Beats very much. It's been, years of reviewing Beats, and I'm finally saying Beats sound like exactly how I want them to. So that's great. So that's why I like them.
No, and it's also why earbud arguments literally drive me up the wall, because the true answer of what the best sounding true wireless earbud is the one that sounds best to you.
Yeah. That's
Literally. There is an IEEE standard for measuring the frequency response of earbuds. And in some respects, frequency response is more important from an earbud than a speaker because there's no room. But at the same time, it's actually way less important because we have rooms built into our noggins and everyone's is different. Anyway,
because someone could say the Powerbeats Pro 2 are all about that bass and no treble, but another person might say that's all about that treble with no bass. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
It's interesting.
I really wish I
her
had
name
something
would be
that
Megan.
clever.
Wait, I have a
Follow up.
question.
Yeah.
Did the original Powerbeats have adaptive EQ?
No.
Do you think that's why it sounds a little better? The constant monitoring with microphones.
So
and
I didn't
trying to,
listen in adaptive EQ mode very much.
Okay.
So it's a third mode. So there's noise canceling mode, transparency mode, and adaptive EQ mode.
Oh, interesting.
In adaptive EQ mode, where it's not doing all of the noise canceling stuff, the battery life is the longest, 10 hours of charge. If you do ANC or transparency, something like 8 hours of charge. Or sorry, I said 10 for the first one, 8 for that. I mostly listen with noise canceling on because it's good enough. And this is to answer your previous question. Like if AirPods Pro are a 10 out of 10, I know they're not, but let's say that's where they're at. These are also like an 8. So they will get rid of white noise mostly, and they're best at that. But you'll still get keyboard sounds and like other handling sounds. And
I
they'll still
realized
get through.
in the video when you said that, it was like keyboard sounds might come through, and I was like, he's talking about my keyboards, which might be a little louder than the
one
average.
20 feet to the left of you, that will make it through. Yeah, but I think in general, if you're turning the music up and you have the ANC on, you're just going to hear music. So
yeah.
Can I say one last thing about these? Whoever designed the website did a great job because David's been spinning around the virtual.
It's basically a fidget spinner.
It's basically
There's a 3D like version that you can look at, and whatever angle you're at, when you change color, it snaps back to the original.
It's really
position. It
really
looks
well done.
Very nice.
wow, that's pretty good.
all
Way
right.
better than Apple's website.
Next headline.
Wait. Just okay. Preliminary findings. They both have the same inside the ear optical sensor. Just the Powerbeats is rotated 90 degrees.
Yeah.
The heart rate optical sensor not present on this guy.
Yeah,
AirPods.
it's a rumor that the next AirPods might get one.
I could totally see that. The vents are different. Big giant vent on the side of the AirPods Pro not present on here. I can't even find the internal microphones on this thing, like the microphones that listen.
Yeah, I think they're
So-
behind the mesh, possibly.
I think what we need is for someone like Zach or iFixit to do a teardown on these, and then I'll be able to tell you more about if it's just a rehoused AirPod Pro 2. But I like the orange.
The orange is really nice.
The orange is sweet. All right.
Electric.
That is Ellis's audio corner.
Audio corner.
Aren't you guys so happy I'm back?
Next headline.
Next headline.
It's hat time.
Is it me?
It's
All right. A few left.
Dua Lipa interviewed Tim Cook.
This headline says Boomless supersonic plane.
We just finished one rant right into the next.
No, I'm not ready for this rant.
I am ready for this because I'm kind of a fan. I talked about it on the last podcast.
We did talk.
So the update, so the supersonic plane that's being developed and tested in public and making all these headlines had another update. And the update was that, and I don't know if this is unique to this plane, but essentially they've found that there's an altitude and a speed that you can fly where you can fly supersonic and not cause an audible boom on the ground.
Boom.
Now, for those of you who may remember
Costco
the
guys in
Concorde,
shambles right now.
or maybe you're just a nerd and you watched it on YouTube videos, you probably know that an airplane flying faster than the speed of sound creates a sonic boom on the ground, which is it passes by you and then at some point later the sound wall catches up and this high pressure wave hits you and it's a boom. And it's kind of annoying if you're just living in an area where you hear booms all the time.
I used to live right above an Air Force base.
Oh wow.
Where
So
we're on
You
the,
lived above the Air Force Base?
yeah.
not below.
On the mountaintop with the rattlesnake den. We were right above Beale Air Force Base. Yeah. So I heard sonic booms like every day.
Okay, so perfect example. So that's a downside to supersonic planes. The upside is you can go from here to London in 2 hours or whatever. The downside is people on the ground having to deal with loud booms that may even damage things or like break windows or be really annoying to pets. So the science is that there is a cutoff speed and altitude where you can fly And essentially, because of refraction in the atmosphere and temperature and a bunch of other factors, the boom actually bounces off the bottom of the clouds, or bounces off and back into the air and doesn't reach the ground. The point is, it doesn't reach the ground. So
But
you're
it
flying
depends on
supersonic.
temperature.
It depends on temperature, and it
And, like,
depends
weather.
on where you're flying and a bunch of other factors.
So it's not consistent.
It's not going to be perfect every single time.
That's not
but the
great.
fact is this exists. This rough area / speed / combo exists where you can fly supersonic and not cause a sonic boom on the ground.
I'm just trying to stall as much as I can while Ellis furiously types
No,
into
sorry.
Wikipedia.
Does
and
this mean my
researches
flight's going to get
physics.
delayed because it could cause a sonic boom if
No.
it's too warm?
Look, most of these flights are over the ocean, so it's actually not that big of a problem. But if you're doing, here to LA, that's overland, so they've got to fly in an area and an altitude where ideally it's not an issue. But yeah, the fact that you can do that at all is pretty sick.
There's a strong irony to the fact that the company is called Boom, and their whole
Hilarious.
thing is how they're boomless.
Yeah,
So
Boomless.
they should just have called themselves Boomless.
I think the sonic boom is famous for old fighter jet videos on YouTube. You've probably seen them and you've experienced them in real life, but
Yeah.
sonic boom is pretty crazy. And
Yeah, they're annoying.
to have a boomless supersonic craft is also great.
Before supersonic booms were popular, because Chuck Yeager famously broke the sound barrier and stole my childhood when he bought my road.
Thank you. I was going to say, you're going to have to explain
No
that a
further
little.
questions.
Yeah, Chuck Yeager.
It's
Road,
just
you can look
lore
it up.
at this point.
It's lore. But my dad was living in the area the first time the sound barrier was broken, and he said everyone called in to the local news stations because they thought aliens were invading, because they'd never heard a sonic boom before.
Yeah.
So everyone freaked out. So
Yeah.
That's terrifying if you have no idea what's going on.
you just hear in the sky
Yeah. It just basically sounds like, yeah. We can play a clip of it. You'll understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, exciting. I also have no idea if this plane will ever actually be real or if anyone will ever actually ride in one. Oh, there goes the headlines. You can't take the hat off over and over. Yeah, so that's the update. I know nothing else about this other than the science is pretty sick.
Boomless.
I'm a fan of not the company, but the science that they keep exposing us all to. Very cool.
Assuming it works.
Very cool.
Just this drives me insane. This story has been eating me away, because they're doing the Silicon Valley thing where they're like, we changed everything and we're like, great, and they're like, that's it, period.
Yeah.
We'll see you next year, and it's like, nothing else.
I have a feeling that the way you feel about this company is similar to the way I feel about startup EV companies.
I would. Here's what I'll say. The plane that flew this week and got retired this week is called the XB1. It is their proof of concept aircraft. They said they flew Mach 1.14 at about 35,000 feet, and there were no audible sonic booms from the ground. And that's great. So now they're going to continue development on their actual airliner called Overture. In order to do that, they need to develop their own, I think they're going with a low bypass turbofan engine that they're calling Symphony, that they have to develop themselves, because all the major engine manufacturers were like, we can't do that. We don't, I don't know,
busy
man.
making 747s.
We will see. I did think it was interesting that they did a lot of this with the XB1 with off-the-shelf parts. Specifically the General Electric, I think it's the J85-15 afterburner variant. I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious. And if you're an aviation engineer and want to talk about the Mach cutoff effect and help me understand why you don't need a 50-foot nose cone to get it, please let me know, because I am not an aerospace engineer and I'm confused.
You did forget one other thing, and it's the new plane they're developing also live translates.
I was going to say, I was literally going to say, Ellis, 3 words, Microsoft Live Translation.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, you're right that if you read their website, which is very much me not caring about the product anymore and just reading the science. Boomless cruise is what they're calling it, but basically supersonic travel without the boom hitting the ground is possible between certain ranges of speeds depending on conditions.
Yes.
And so they're saying like, oh yeah, we could get you to LA maybe 90 minutes faster with no boom if the conditions are right. But if we're going over water, we don't care about the boom, and we could go Mach 1.5 or something.
I think it was in between 1.7 and 2 is what they're shooting for. Is that, am I right about that?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Did you watch the live stream?
No, I haven't watched any. Actually, I watched
good.
a replay and I scanned through it for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it was fine. I just felt like they were doing their best SpaceX impression.
100%. Yeah, that's what I got to.
And I was just sort of like, is this, you know what? Whatever. Great.
SpaceX
Congratulations.
has cool streams.
I feel like the live of that, SpaceX caught a rocket. They're flying a plane that doesn't produce the thing that we would see anyways.
Well,
It has no boom.
They had a
Counterpoint.
live speed tracker thing.
Okay.
So, they're supersonic now. That's cool.
Counterpoint, though, Andrew. The test pilot that works for Boom is named Geppetto. And so during the whole live stream, they were like, I think Geppetto's about to hit the afterburners, which I just thought sounded really, really silly.
That's a great sentence.
Counterpoint to your counterpoint. I know nothing about aeronautics,
All right.
so I can't contribute anything.
Hear me out. Faster flights.
That would be.
You in? You in?
Hear me out. Driverless cars. Next
Same.
year.
Wait,
It's
hear me
coming.
out.
his name
Teleportation.
is Tristan. His name is not Geppetto. Geppetto's just Geppetto's his nickname. They call him
okay.
Geppetto. And on the stream, they were like, Geppetto, he's hitting the afterburn. But no, his name is actually Tristan.
They also refer to him as Geppetto.
No. But I just didn't want, I just didn't want to be like, there's this guy Geppetto, and meanwhile Tristan's out there like angry.
Sorry, Tristan.
Yeah.
All right, next headline.
Next headline.
Oppo Find N5.
Ah.
Wait, do we have it?
Oh, yeah, I should have brought it.
Well,
get
We can show it if we don't turn the screen on.
It makes no difference. I can't.
no, we can't.
Okay, here's the headline. And this is literally the headline. Oppo Find N5 is revealed to be the world's thinnest book-style foldable. That's all we get. And so I got this email, I got the device, I got someone reaching out from Oppo. And so I have the phone, and what we are allowed to show / confirm is that it is, in fact, very thin. We are not allowed to show the device with the screen on. We are actually only allowed to show either photos that they have provided for us or our own photos. Now, this is a video podcast.
I tried to convince Marques to put it on video and just say,
Video.
What
is
is
just a bunch of photos.
I'm with you. I'm erring on the safe side here because 30 pictures every second is just where we're at right
A lot
now.
of pictures.
But fine, okay. It is very thin. It's gotten me pondering a whole bunch more thoughts and feelings about it, but I can't really get into those because all we can really talk about is, wow, very thin.
it's super thin.
The other thing is, if you look at these pictures, there's a slightly modified USB Type-C port on this thing. That's basically the entire thickness of each side of the book foldable. It's like 4.5 millimeters.
Counterpoint.
It's full of them today.
Microsoft Surface Duo.
It feels super
Yeah.
similar to the launch of that.
The embargo. Okay, this is inside baseball. Microsoft Surface Duo.
I talked about it in the
We've
video.
talked. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, when I reviewed it.
Famously, very annoying embargo on this phone.
I think it has 3
Well,
embargoes.
Phone, quote unquote phone. Yeah. Had like 3 embargoes. We had an embargo where we could show the hardware but not turn the screen on. And then there was a separate embargo where you could actually review the device.
I think it was like a first impressions embargo and then the full review embargo, which
Right.
because I think the second one you couldn't show photos from it.
And, like,
there's like
couldn't
some
evaluate
small
it.
things like that.
Now, Oppo is obviously on the 5th version of its Find N devices. I seriously doubt that them making it thinner is going to make it as buggy and horrible as the original Surface Duo. So it's probably fine.
Yeah.
But it always feels a little bit weird.
It is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
they're like, you can show pictures of the hardware but not talk about anything else.
It is designed to create a wave of headlines in one style before a wave of headlines in another style.
Yeah.
The first wave of headlines is this is a very thin phone.
Verge brought up a good point too, that they were very specific in calling it the world's thinnest book style foldable, because
Yes.
while closed, it is still thinner than the Mate XT. While open, each individual segment, the Mate XT is thinner.
The triple fold phone.
The triple fold
Yeah.
phone, sorry.
Wow.
So the triple fold, each one of those slices is a little thinner, but I will say it is thin. It is thin.
Yay.
Can confirm it is thin.
We're going to have the same conversation about the Galaxy S25
Slim Edge.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
when that
forgot about
actually
that.
comes out.
Yeah, that's a weird thing that's happening this year. Is like that is happening. There's a rumor of the iPhone 17 Air happening, and maybe one or two other like ultra thin phones.
Yeah.
which is funny because we just finished talking about the Pixel 9a being
Getting
like
thicker.
finally what we wanted, a thicker phone. Yeah.
Assuming all these companies are using the new battery cell technology that allows you to pack more energy in a smaller package, they're probably just making thinner batteries that have the same amount of capacity as existing phones, which is not what we want.
Yeah,
we
see,
want the same size,
want
but with
more.
better battery life.
Yes.
You know-
see Oppo Find 13 or see OnePlus 13 review.
Exactly.
You say that, but when this thin Samsung phone comes out, I bet it's going to be sick.
Here's my question, because it sounds like you're optimistic about that phone.
I'm very optimistic.
Do you think this is going to be priced ultra high?
No,
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Because the way they teased it and they were like, this is going to be an amazing phone. It's the Edge and we're bringing it back. To me, sounds like it's going to be an $1,100 phone.
I think it'll be $1,100.
I think it'll be like 900, something like that. Because they're not saying it's going to be like the Ultra or something, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like giving you any crazy performance. It's like you're getting this because it's thin.
Where do you think? So, but we don't think it's going to be like a $500 phone.
No, I don't think so.
Do we think the iPhone 17 Air is also in that upper
Yes.
echelon?
I think
That's what I think.
17 Air will be in the iPhone Plus category.
I think it's in the Pro Max.
You think
category.
so?
I think Apple, the way they operate, they're going to try to make this the exclusive, interesting one. And so it's going to be the one with the special battery technology developed to be super thin. It's going to be the one with, a couple extra, fun cooling bits that they invented to make a phone this thin.
I could see it going either way because that's the approach they took with the iPad Pro. They made it super thin
Yep.
and they were like, this is the thinnest iPad Pro and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I could also see them being like, no, if you want the Pro, get the Pro. Like this is something else entirely.
Apple specifically, the Air has always been less powerful. You're making sacrifices on performance to
be
have
thinner.
a thinner.
if they
thing.
call it the Air, yeah.
If they call it the Air, that's
Yeah.
Like the MacBook
It would be
Air.
dumb if they didn't call it the Air. They actually have a good name for it. It's
Yeah.
Pro Max and
That
Pro
checks out.
Max Slim. 5G UW.
No, Air is perfect for this. I think, Edge also kind of works because it's so thin. You could see it's like an Edge, whatever.
I think, what do we think screen size for the Edge is? Like 25 plus
For
screen size
Samsungs?
or like 24?
It looked like
screen
they
size?
had
so.
they had
I mean,
one.
I got to check
was,
it
like,
out.
weird
I
how
didn't
they
get the
showed
whole other phones up to it, but it looked like S25 plus sized. Yeah,
Okay.
only dual cameras though instead of triple cameras.
I think S25 plus price, but with one less camera and some performance sacrifices, but the same price because it's thin. That's my guess.
Performance sacrifices.
Yeah,
Because less cooling. Because they're probably still gonna have the Snapdragon.
but they just have to
Galaxy.
fit more in a tighter spot. So like, it almost makes me think of like S20 FE kind of thing, where it's like, what are some small sacrifices we can make for something else?
Right.
Yeah, it's like we're trying to think of other devices that it will be close to. But
I like
it's-
how the Oppo phone was this boring that we are no talking
I was just going to say, let this be a lesson to all
Yeah.
future embargo creators that this is why these embargoes are stupid.
Yeah.
Because we just spent this whole section talking about
Samsung.
a different phone.
I mean, they got their headline. They got their headline on a bunch of websites. It's the thinnest book style foldable, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it'll come out later this year. But the thinness thing is what we're like focusing on. Like, do people want a super thin phone? Which leads us down the road of, there's other super thin phones coming out this year, we think. Do people want them? And how bad do they want them? Would they pay $900 for it?
I would like to see the thinnest Books style foldable.
That's what I thought when he said that before.
That would be better.
Book style is this.
Yeah.
flip. This is
He means the
Clamshell?
version.
Yeah, the Books.
Yeah, I know.
Palma.
I'm picturing like the iPhone 17 Air, if it's as thin as the Edge, right? Does it still have MagSafe? So then you can like slap a magnet.
There's
like
no
a wallet
way
on
Apple
there.
releases a phone that doesn't have MagSafe going
Right?
forward.
So then it's
SE?
it's as thick as a regular phone, but like You know, I feel like that's the benefit. And you put it in a case, and now it's the same size as a regular phone.
That's what I think.
Oh yeah.
In a case is now the same size as a phone without a case.
They got to launch this phone with like a super thin case or something, because it's going to be really funny when people go wait in line for this phone, this super, super thin phone that they've made sacrifices for and paid a bunch of money for, and then immediately put a case on it, and it's just another normal size phone.
Otterbox.
With worse battery.
I'm
Put an
just saying.
Otterbox on it, dude. Wow. Otterbox is going to make a case for this phone too. It's going to be really funny.
I'm just staying optimistic because I think these super thin devices are actually going to be pretty cool.
Why?
Because I think we haven't explored that before.
Well, we've explored that to failure before, where like phones were bad. Like the Razr back in the original, remember there was these two Razrs that Motorola made.
The
that
original
were
Razr?
disgustingly thin. No, Motorola, is it? The
Razr Edge.
The Razr Edge. Is that what it was called? They had those two modular phones with the pins on the back.
Yeah.
And they were the thinnest phones I've ever seen. And terrible battery life. Like not a lot of great things about
Well,
those
that's the thing.
phones.
If they suck, then none of this matters. But
So
if
this
it's
is
like
like-
a decent phone,
It feels like this is maybe the first time that the compute is mature enough to give us razor thin phones that don't suck.
I'm just curious to see whether something like the Pixel 9a going with a bigger battery and slightly thicker is how that's going to hold up overall with like in the headspace of people compared to something that's dropping that's going to be super thin.
Yeah.
Dropping.
I think
Don't drop it.
I think it's all going to be price related. I think that A phone is going to come out, it's going to be $500 and it's going to have an all-day battery and everyone's going to be like, "Yes, that's good."
Yeah.
And then this premium phone is going to come out that's super thin, that has a worse battery, and all the headlines are going to be, "No,
Yeah.
this bad."
Well,
two
I
main-
like the two different directions we're going in though. Like I'm curious to see what happens.
I'm realizing some of these directions semi-lead to this last headline in this hat.
Really?
Save the best for last.
Is this a segue unintentionally?
Not really. I just wanted to talk about the next thing.
iPhone SE4 has leaked a lot.
Nice. Yeah, there's rumors about this one too. iPhone.
Yeah.
There's more than rumors
Okay.
about this one. Yeah.
Is it
So
leaked? Oh, 'cause
there's
the design.
still the possibility. Mark Gurman originally said that it was going to come out this week. We record on Wednesdays. If we don't,
No. He said this morning it's next week now.
there's still the possibility. Mark Gurman said this morning it was going to come out next week. Okay, I hope it's by Wednesday. Anyway, this phone has leaked in full many times over in very funny ways. Spigen, I don't know if that's how you pronounce the company's
I think it
name.
is.
Yeah.
But they're a case company. They accidentally leaked the entire design by putting the case for it up for sale temporarily, which had photos of the phone in it. So we basically know exactly what it looks like, assuming that wasn't just a placeholder that Spigen put online. But effectively, this is the most Frankenstein-looking iPhone I think we've ever seen.
Yeah. Interesting.
It uses a ton of parts from a ton of different generations of phone.
That's the first thing that struck me is typically the iPhone SE has been, and this isn't even that bad of a thing, it's just what lets them make it so cheap, but it's been a parts bin phone.
Right.
Meaning we put this really, really fast chip from this year's phone in this body from this older iPhone.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, yeah, now it's cheaper. Great.
Yeah.
And that means it has a worse screen and a worse battery and a single camera, but it's like, it's a cheaper iPhone, so it's successful and it's fine. And this one looks like it's not actually a previous body.
Well, in some ways, it's using a bunch of parts from older phones. Like it has a notch, so there's no dynamic island nestled in an OLED display. So it's kind of like an iPhone 13
An OLED.
kind of situation.
The 13 have OLED?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the Pro. Or did they all have
They all
Is-
had OLED. Yeah.
Is this not? I can't tell the sides of it. It feels like a 10R.
I think it's square.
Is it
Yeah,
square?
because 10R was rounded.
It was rounded, but it was single. Oh yeah, that does
So it's
look
more
like
like an
flat.
iPhone
side.
12. It's similar to an iPhone 12 body. The back kind of looks like a 10R.
Because it's singular
It's a single
camera.
You get a singular camera, and it has sort of that sheen of like the 10R color. It has an action button.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so it's like updated to have the action button.
These are also all alleged, like the Pixel 9a.
Yeah. Yes. It's got the 48 megapixel rear camera, and it has a much bigger 3,279 milliamp hour battery over the 2,000 milliamp hour battery of the iPhone SE3.
Oh, that's huge.
Apple A18 chipset and 8 gigabytes of RAM, which suggests they are going to add Apple Intelligence. Yeah. So there was also a 10-second hands-on video from this leaker that was posted on X a couple of weeks ago that shows it from basically all angles.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this changes.
Yeah.
What it looks like.
So, yeah, it kind of looks like an iPhone 12 mixed with a bunch of extra parts.
Yeah.
It looks nice. Oh man, we haven't seen the notch in so long.
Yeah,
It's
I
fun.
know.
Also,
So
remember
ancient.
the iPhone SE was $399 and then it was $429, right? The newest SE, well, at least at launch, was a little bit more expensive.
Sorry.
I'm curious if the new SE, when it finally does come out, will still be, because it's now more RAM and maybe it's a little bit less parts binny. Maybe it's more expensive.
They might do. So yeah, it's $429. The iPhone SE3 is $429.
Right.
They might do $499 because that's what Google is selling the Pixel 9a series at
It's like
anyway.
popular price.
Yeah, $500 seems like a popular price. I could see Apple doing $500 for that. Just because it's it's apparently going to have an OLED screen instead of that LCD one that they had on the.
Oh, but it's probably going to be
SE3.
60 hertz.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
It's
Yeah,
Apple.
it's
Of course, it's going to be 60
I
hertz.
realized that.
Yeah,
It's like,
come on.
oh, no.
iPhone 16 is still 60 hertz.
Yeah, dang it. Okay.
That
Yeah.
would be wild.
Yeah,
That'd be yeah. if they put
Promotion
a
of the
90 hertz
SE.
screen on it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're expecting that to be pretty soon. Again, by the time you hear this, maybe we know more, maybe not. Who knows? Yeah. Another alleged phone.
Yeah.
Rumor mill. It's happening.
Very fun. I think that the Rivian's going to be a color. Anyway,
Somehow the Rivian did the best teasing out of all of this.
yeah.
Good job, Rivian.
If you are listening to this podcast on your date with your significant other,
Whoa.
You're a real one.
send us a like and a tweet and a comment on Blue Sky.
Take your phone out on the date and leave a comment.
Sorry, 1 second. Thank you.
But if you're not, we're about to do trivia.
Trivia, dude. So, second question.
Please be something I know.
In honor of Ellis being back on the pod, another Ellis style question. Which of these is not a real streaming service? A. Phoebe. B. Acorn TV. C. Mubi. Mubi.
Muji?
D. Fubo. E. Tubi.
Okay, I have a logical answer.
E.
F,
Uniqlo.
the Chick-fil-A streaming network.
My logic for this is, you know how like every deity like ends in like an ah sound, like ah, like God or Allah or something like that. All of these services end in E except for one. So I'm going with the one that doesn't end in E.
Also, doesn't God not end in
The ah vowel sound.
Oh.
And I'm just going, oh, one of them doesn't have E at the end. So
Phoebe, Mubi, Fubo, Tubi.
This
yeah, the one that's not E. Yeah, that's my answer.
Acorns.
Acorn TV.
We will think about this one. Answers at the end like usual. We'll be right back. Support for this show comes from Shopify. Starting a new business can feel like a lonely journey. You know, the twists and turns and the ups and downs can feel endless. You might start with questions like, how do I get started? How do I come up with a brand? And even how do I actually sell stuff? That's where Shopify comes in. Nobody does sales better than Shopify. Home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and the not so secret, the Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going forward. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are, on the web, in your store, in the feed, and everywhere in between. So their powerful social media tools let you connect all of your channels and create shoppable posts so you can sell everywhere people scroll. Plus, Shopify can help with the finer details of actually managing your business, like shipping, taxes, and payments, all from one single dashboard. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Looking to upgrade your business? Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/waveform, all lowercase. So go to shopify.com/waveform to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/waveform.
Welcome back. So today is February 12th, a Wednesday, the day of recording. You guys are listening to this on February 14th, dear listener, which is Valentine's Day. So in honor of Valentine's Day, I thought it'd be fun to play a little game called Tech That Ghosted Us. So the way this is going to work is we're going to go around and we're going to each talk about a tech that is either discontinued or that went out of business that we miss, that it just disappeared.
I got ghosted once.
Yeah, me too.
Long time ago.
Yeah, we listen and we do not judge.
Still
Who
am.
wants to go first?
I can go.
Yeah, I got
Lead us
ghosted in
off,
college. I'm
Marques.
still waiting for that text back.
You have one?
The year was 2020. For every Frisbee team I've ever played on, and just among my group of friends, I'm usually the one that knows the most about the weather.
That tracks.
But in 2020,
That tracks.
Apple bought Dark Sky. And they bought Dark Sky to buy all of the technology and the real-time sourcing and whatever. And so they immediately removed the app from the Android app store, and they shut down the iOS app shortly thereafter. And they brought some of those features into their own weather app, but my life just hasn't been the same since I was ghosted by Dark Sky. I really miss Dark
Sad
Sky
days.
dearly.
What are you using? You're using that.
So I use Carrot Weather right now. And,
Okay.
it's the closest we've come. They even have literally a Dark Sky clone layout option for those of us who aren't over our
Really?
I mean, are over Dark Sky. And on Android, there's not really anything close. I've gotten some use out of, what is it called? Not Shadow Weather is okay, but there's another one that's...
I do not have a weather app that I enjoy yet, and I got tired of looking.
There's honestly not, they're kind of not all, they're all not good. Yeah.
It's a shame.
Some of them are aesthetically pleasing, but Overdrop, I think, is aesthetically pleasing, but isn't the best, like, accuracy. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's definitely my
That's your one.
my one that I thought of.
I have one that I just kind of thought about the other day because with Powerbeats Pro being $250, we were trying to find some other comparable active headphones, like workout-based headphones. And I was having a hard time finding some. So I remembered an old favorite of this channel, Jaybird, and tried to look up Jaybird headphones and realized they are just don't seem to be a thing anymore. And
They
I
got
missed
bought?
that completely. I thought they got bought by Logitech.
Same.
Yeah, they did.
And then Logitech just said, later.
Jaybird headphones used to be like the workout headphones.
I loved them.
Yeah.
Like some of those old ones, Marques brought me onto them. I remember before I started working here and I was playing Ultimate with Marques, he was always testing like new Jaybird headphones.
Without looking it up, how much do you think Logitech bought Jaybird for?
Can
Less than $1 billion.
Correct.
can we ask a year?
It was, yeah, you can.
19?
2016.
16?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was that long ago.
20 million?
Yeah, I'm going to go like under 100 million. I'll go 50.
50 million.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Holy,
Good guess.
very nice.
Yeah,
guess.
Thank you.
I thought that was a nice discount. 50
It
million.
sounds good. Yeah.
And
I
then
mean-
they just got rid of them.
Yeah, to not do anything.
Why do
Yeah,
companies
when did
do
they
this?
stop doing that?
Yeah, I think it was several years later they stopped making them, but I remember like the Jaybird X4 is not that. No, I guess it was kind of long ago, being pretty great. They kind of fizzled out right before like the truly wireless earbuds started happening. Like they would be the earbuds that were connected via cable, so you'd have wireless earbuds but still have a cable between them. Mm-hmm. And then right as we started getting truly wireless earbuds everywhere, Jaybird disappeared.
Wow, they did the Jaybird Vistas, which I loved. I
That
used
was-
those for so long. Like they like got into the truly wireless category,
And then
and I
disappeared.
loved them. They had some cool colors. They were like great. They fit my ears good. Little wingtips, but like I loved those things. And
yeah. I never
it
had
seems
those.
like they were kind of the end of the line for them.
Dang. What was the really popular one that had they were connected with the cable?
That was the X4.
X4.
The X1234, yeah.
Yeah, I think I had the X2.
So yeah, Jaybirds on my. It literally felt like ghosting because I tried to find them and realized I just haven't looked for that long. And
Yeah.
it's been a few years and they're just gone.
Yeah. Do you guys remember Quibi? That's not mine. That's not mine. I'm joking. I'm glad that's dead.
Damn.
Okay, so there was a service called Scroll. I don't remember. No, I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, the Ethereum wrapper.
Yeah, clearly. It got bought by Twitter. So what it was basically this. It was a subscription. It was a ad-free.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Holy crap.
it was
yeah.
awesome. It was an ad-free subscription service where you would pay $5 a month, and basically news organizations that signed on would give you an ad-free experience, and it basically distributed the subscription revenue to all the news organizations that would sign on to it.
Isn't that just Apple News?
Also, yes.
Sort of, but they had a lot more publishers. Like all the Vox brands were on it. Android Police was on it for some reason. It was very cool. I really liked it. I liked being able to like support the brands that I liked. Twitter bought it. I believe it got integrated into Twitter Blue temporarily before Twitter got purchased.
Yeah.
It was great, and I really liked it. And there were a lot of questions about the scalability of it, obviously, because they were like, well, does one user who pays $5 a month, if there's a bazillion news organizations now on the service and they're all getting like 3 cents from a user, is that better than the ads that they would see? There were a lot of questions that were left unanswered, but for the period of time that it was around, I really enjoyed it.
I feel like this is what people wanted when it came to skiing, is like, you want to ski at a bunch of different mountains. How can I buy like a season pass to go to a bunch of them? And then what happened was Vail just bought every single mountain, and you can do that, but now they have like total control over like, they own an absurd amount of like the skiing mountains in the US.
Huh. I did not know that.
It's a huge point of contention, I think, in the skiing world, but
It's sort of like ClassPass too. Do you know ClassPass?
no.
ClassPass is a service where you pay like a monthly fee, and then you can go to a bunch of different fitness classes from a ton of different types of fitness classes. And you use credits that you get through ClassPass, and ClassPass pays the gyms to be able to let you use them.
That's kind of cool.
So it's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Like a Tesla Supercharge network.
Ellis, you got one?
Back in the day, there was this product that I loved so dearly. My whole family actually loved it just as dearly as I did. It was sold at an unlikely place. Do you guys remember the store that was mostly in malls and airports?
Yes.
Called Brookstone.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Radio Shack.
Is that
Brookstone was after Sharper Image. I feel
Yes.
like. Okay.
Brookstone sold almost exclusively garbage.
Yeah. It was like the airplane magazine stuff, but in a
Exactly.
physical store.
Complete.
Oh my God.
complete
Wait.
and like a weird amount of massage chairs.
That's
Like-
I
like if you
Googled
were at
every
Brookstone, that's
mall.
the first thing that came up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'd be at the airport and you'd be like, I really want to ship this massage chair. I don't know, but they did make one thing that was amazing. It was called the Brookstone Weathercast. It was an unbelievably simple piece of tech. It was an LCD screen, like a black and white calculator style liquid crystal display that connected either via 3G or radio frequency or something for free to this network, and it would just pull AccuWeather forecasts, and you'd stick it on your fridge, and it would have a 5-day forecast. And you cannot buy anything that does this, except for one thing, and I'm going to get there before anyone says anything. But any single time you look up weather clock, you get the weather stations where you put a thing on your like roof, and it'll be like, this is what the temperature. I don't want to know that.
You don't
I
want
don't
your own
want to
weather
know
station?
that. I want to know how hot and how cold it's going to be today. Damn it! And no one I mean, yes, I could look at my phone, but I like the ability to walk into my kitchen in the morning and just see while I'm drinking my coffee.
This is pretty awesome.
It's
I'm
amazing.
looking at it now.
And literally it was like my mom's favorite tech product of all time. And every year for Christmas and her birthday, I look around and I cannot find a single thing like this that exists until this year.
Yeah.
A company called Terminal built sort of like an open source Wi-Fi version of this. And I bought one for my mom, and it still hasn't arrived yet. And I need to reach out to them to figure out where it is. But once it gets there, I'll let you know if it's the real deal. Terminal has no vowels because it's a tech startup.
Nice.
It's Terminal.
You're not getting that. The amount of vowels is how likely you get it. You're at 0.
But I'm excited for this.
Kickstarter.
I'm excited that this product, after like a 10-year hiatus, has come back. And yeah, Brookstone Weathercast, incredible product. no notes.
Yeah, I've seen this terminal thing.
Yes, Quinn got one. Snazzy Labs got one
that's
recently,
where I
and
saw
he
it.
loves it.
He said it was cool.
I'm really excited about it, but I can't get too excited about it until it's actually in my mom's hands, which it's not yet. Anyway, that's my thing. Brookstone Weathercast. Bet none of you remember that.
I have a question for you. Why not just use a Google Home or something?
Home Hub.
I don't want that.
That's fair.
enough.
Yeah, I don't want.
That's what I got my parents.
I mean, look. If you got a Google Home, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want a computer. I just want a little.
Computer.
No.
It's kind of still a computer.
No. The Brookstone Weathercast will never ever show you an ad.
It would if it was alive today.
And you and you cannot
2025.
say that with confidence about the Google Home. You'll never get home from work and be like, "Oh, what a day!" And then you look at your Google Home and it'll just be like, "Blue Chew."
I don't think my Google Home's ever shown me an ad.
And
Yeah,
I
I
can
don't
say
think
with
so either.
confidence, it will eventually.
That's fair.
That's true.
That is
Okay,
fair.
mine, speaking of Google, that I have been ghosted on
Don't
is...
you-
What?
Aloe?
That's
Oh, no. Oh, David, why? Oh, I'm changing mine.
Aloe?
Google Allo. No.
Yeah.
Mine was, damn, that's a good one.
What inbox as well.
Oh, my God. I hate you for this.
Sorry, Google could just be a whole category.
That's not
I
fair.
was going to say Google Stadia, but
Google
I kind of want to change it
Plus.
to either one of those.
Oh yeah.
Or Stadia.
You actually
Stadia.
you like
I
Stadia.
loved Stadia. I remember when it came out.
Yeah.
I was so excited. The controller was perfect.
It was good.
And I regret getting rid of it after they shut down because
now you
now
can
it's
use
just
it
a
as
Bluetooth
Bluetooth.
controller you can use for like anything. And I got rid of it because I was like, what am I going to need this for now? And I should have kept it. It was
I would
perfect.
argue Stadia broke up with everyone. They didn't just straight ghost.
Yeah, that's
fair.
They gave them.
They
They refunded everybody for every game they ever bought.
Yeah, but I'm in denial still. So is that not ghosting?
That's
to a
like
certain
if your
extent?
partner
one of the
gives
yeah,
you back all your
they broke up and brought all your stuff back.
and paid you back for all the dinners you paid for.
That's tough. That would be pretty sick.
That'd be
I
pretty
do.
sick, pretty
Yeah, I miss it because I think they were a little too early to this whole cloud streaming thing. I mean, I don't know because Microsoft xCloud is still just like doing a thing, right?
xCloud?
Is that what it's called? xCloud, Microsoft like streaming service,
Xbox.
Xbox Live,
Wait,
Xbox Cloud. Yeah, whatever.
no, it's
Ellis uses it.
called something different.
Well, whatever that is,
It's called Xbox Cloud Gaming.
No,
and it's still a thing. So like Google could have done it, and they just
Xbox
like
Cloud Gaming beta.
beta.
I thought it was
Well,
called.
yeah, it's always going to be a beta.
What?
There's a lot of Google things like that
Game
that were a
Pass.
little ahead of their time.
Oh,
Yeah. But that reminded me of Google Plus, also a little ahead of their time. Inbox that you mentioned,
Inbox.
also a little ahead of its time.
So good.
The one that I just thought of though that wasn't necessarily ahead of its time, it's just not. It doesn't. I don't think it works anymore, and it just died. Is Google Reader?
Yeah.
Google Reader. I used to use that every single day
You
to
could-
like follow all the sites that I read.
There's a bunch of other
RSS readers.
RSS readers.
Yeah,
we
I
talked about them
switched-
last week.
I switched to Feedly and I like tried a couple others, and even Flipboard had some stuff, but I just never quite got back into it after Reader died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got ghosted.
Didn't we all?
Yeah,
Did they get rid of Reader?
Yeah, I just Googled it instead.
But they still have Blogger.
It's
for
from
some
Google. I think it's an 80% chance if you ask if they got rid of it. It's
reason.
true.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
I feel like there's
now that we're all sad about things we don't have anymore,
Maybe we should have started with this.
girlfriend. No.
time for trivia.
what better time?
Yeah, time to be sad that we get none of the trivia right.
Yeah, I'm not getting either of these.
Trivia.
Dude.
But first, I just wanted to say, as a follower of sports YouTube, one of the most talented creators in that space, Kofi, just left Vox
Tubi?
/ yes, Kofi. No, he just left Vox / Secret Base.
Oh, I saw that
He
this
said
morning.
he got laid off. Very sad. But you should go check out his channel and support him in his solo venture, because if you even remotely like sports, you will like that content.
Can you,
worry about it.
to help,
gonna say so. I don't
can you spell his name? Because
Yes.
I'm trying to find it right now.
I
and
probably
can't.
should have done that first. His name is spelled Kofie. Kofi. You've almost definitely seen him in a Secret Base video or something in the past, but talks about video games, talks about sports, talks about things that he's one of those YouTubers where even if you don't like sports, there's something for you. You know, like like me and bug YouTube. Like I don't like bugs. But,
Wait, did you see Ants Canada connected all of his?
Of course.
Okay.
You
I
act
haven't
like
seen it yet, but tell me about it later. I want to hear what happened.
I have notifications on for Ants Canada. I need to know. I also just want to say, now I'm just riffing here, but whenever he builds a new like terrarium aquarium, he like has this community channel vote thing to like decide the name. And I wanted so bad for him to name it the Splash Zone because it's an aquarium. But alas, the Splash Zone did not make it. Anyway, question number 1. I have 4 tech company. I don't want to say startup because last time I used the word startup, people got mad. But I have 4 tech companies in front of me. Adam, hit that music. A, Skio, sell subscriptions without ripping your hair out. B, Fruit, F-R-O-O-T, Swift conversion, automate legacy migration, ship faster. C, Keek, K-E-A-K, we're automating conversion rate optimization. Jesus. D, Coho, giving Canadians the tools and knowledge to make their money grow. Also, Skio is spelled S-K-I-O. Skio.
We all have a 25% chance of getting this right.
Why? Because you all know one of them's real?
No.
Oh, and which one is fake? That's the 3 of them are real, one of them is fake. Wait, how did you arrive at 25%?
Because there was 4
We're
answers.
just guessing. Shot in the dark.
And we're guessing.
Wow. Don't cut it. Leave it in. Let it hang.
You made me think for a second. I was like,
David made me think for a second.
And try to.
I would have been thinking for a lot longer than a second if you guys weren't here. Anyway, flip those boards.
How did you arrive at 25%?
Oh,
All right. Who would like to read their answer?
Marques and I wrote the same thing.
I
Which
picked
is?
A.
Gio.
A, Skio is incorrect. Skio is a real company.
It's
David
a really boring Twitter bio.
It is.
It feels very made up.
David put B. And before I tell you if you're right or wrong, David, can you take me through your thought process? What made you arrive at B?
What was B?
It sounded the most fake.
Well, yeah, which one was B?
I don't know. I really don't know. It was like automate something.
That was C.
Yeah,
but
I was
David, you
Yeah,
are
B.
correct.
Let's go.
I made up fruit.
Fruit, right?
Yeah, I was trying
Because
to.
I thought it sounded too much like Looped, that early Sam Altman company.
We don't
that didn't
talk about
work
that
out.
here.
Yeah,
Also, yeah, it is looped.
that's where he
right.
had the dual collar at WWDC with the
Exactly.
pink and the. It was the Fruit of the Loom kind of.
Oh, that was
vibe.
Sam Altman.
Yeah,
That was Sam Altman.
yeah.
Anyway, congrats on your point, David. I'm now going
you.
to turn it over to my co-host.
He was really running away with it.
I'm really
Yeah,
running
this
away
is getting
with
out of
it.
hand.
Is he
man.
more than Marques and I combined?
We're about to find out. Quick update on the score. Marques with 5.
Not only is he more than you and Marques combined, but Andrew, we could double your score, and it's still more than you guys combined.
Whoa.
Andrew with 2. And after that point, David running away with it with 9. But it's okay because none of the points matter when we get to trivia
Yeah.
extravaganza.
Dude, this is insane. This is a heater.
Yeah, but I've lost every trivia extravaganza. So.
Not this season.
All right,
my
question
comeback
number
time.
2.
Yeah.
Which one of the following is not a streaming service? A. Phoebe, F-I-B-I. B. Acorn TV. C. Mubi, M-U-B-I. D. Fubo, F-U-B-O. Or E. Tubi, T-U-B-I.
This is so hard because we joke about these. I just make them up so often that I don't know which ones are real anymore.
Yep, exactly.
I already forgot all of them.
All right, flip them and read. What do you got?
David and I have the same one.
A,
Which is
Phoebe.
Phoebe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
I almost.
Marques, what'd you put?
He put Acorn.
I put C.
No, he
which
put
is
C.
Mubi.
Mubi.
Sorry.
Mubi is like it's like a Criterion Collection competitor.
What?
Don't know
what any of that means.
They're sort of like trying to split the difference between being an actual film distro company and being a streaming service. So like
Yeah.
Grand Theft Hamlet is distributed
A Mubi
by
production.
Mubi, and you'll be able to stream it there. I don't know.
And Phoebe makes
Tubo, which is the broadcast arm of Grupped Up.
Of Grubhub.
Oh my gosh.
Of Chick-fil-A.
Which is all owned by the Shine Hartwig Corporation.
Which is all owned by BlackRock.
Which is all owned by Alphabet.
Yeah.
Well, we tried. We tried to answer them correctly. Some of us got some right. Some of us didn't. Thanks for watching. Next week, probably not headlines in a hat. Actually, I can't guarantee that. There may be more headlines in more hats, but there will be more headlines for sure. The hat, TBD. See you guys next week. Peace.
Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Rovin. We're partnered with Vox Media Podcast Network, and our outro music was created by Vane Sill.
You can do what you want, kids.
Bingo!
You can do anything. Damn, I don't know geography very well.